Por supuesto que sí, mi amiga. So my Hispanic side actually comes from my mom's side mostly, even though there's a little from my dad, but my mom is from Honduras. So my mom was born in San Pedro Sula, and she also lived in the capital, Tegucigalpa, for a while, and also the coastal town of La Ceiba, which I have family still in La Ceiba and San Pedro Sula, and I've been to both of those places a couple times. My mom's last name is Mayorga, so that is like the more Hispanic side. If I was in a Latin country that used both last names, I'd be David Archuleta Mayorga. Now for the Archuleta side. Archuleta isn't a Hispanic name, it's a Basque name. And the Basque region is in northern Spain, southern France, but they speak a completely different language. Basque is like so different from any other language that's out there. Long story short, one of my ancestors came from the Basque region and settled Santa Fe, New Mexico, where my bloodline of Archuletas were for 200 to 300 years. I don't know much about what happened other than like my great-grandpa Archuleta was born in Colorado, moved to Utah where my grandpa Archuleta was born. My great-grandpa Archuleta actually spoke fluent Spanish. Like his English was his second language. He didn't want my grandpa Archuleta to speak Spanish because he didn't want him to deal with the racism that he had to deal with. So my mom moved to Miami in her teens with her family, and then my dad also moved there later on, and that's where they met. So while I wasn't born technically in like a Latin country, I was born in a Latin melting pot, which was Miami, and I lived there until like kindergarten. Lost a lot of like that Latin culture when we moved to Utah, but I still had my mom, and actually my grandpa now lives in Utah. My grandpa Mayorga, both of my grandpas live in Utah, but my grandpa Mayorga doesn't speak English, so I have to speak to him in Spanish to communicate with him, and so yeah, there you go. Fiesta, fiesta, yo quiero más fiesta.